One of the things that you need to consider is if you're moving to a community, Aboriginal community like Yolngu people or other traditional people across Australia, the chances are they'll have a different kinship system or structure. And in that structure there will be clear avoidance relationships. Mainly the avoidance relationship that exists between a brother and a sister, or sister and brother, and the avoidance relationship between a son and mother-in-law, mother-in-law and son, or others in that same relationship. It's not just a man and the mother-in-law, it's also the mother-in-law's brothers and so forth, and other sisters are all in that same relationship. So there's people in avoidance relationship, and those avoidance relationships are not just, in a sense, go up in age away from you, like son-in-law to mother-in-law. They also can go down where you can have an avoidance relationship with a person that's much younger than you. Now, this might sound complicated. Well, it is. It's very complicated. It's a complicated kinship structure. And if you were being prepared to work in that community properly, you would already have material that help you work through that structure. If the department hasn't provided that, try and find it yourself. Go online. We've got some stuff on our website. Try and find that out, because if you don't understand that there's avoidance relationship between, say, brother-sister, that means when a brother and sister are in the same classroom, there should be no reference to any sexual issue or any form of swearing or whatever, because you might find the brother then acts in very strange ways. Sometimes they'll just get up and walk out of the classroom. It could be even the way that you're acting in the classroom itself that upsets them, and I might talk about that separately. But think about avoidance relationships. Don't try and organise where people sit in the classroom so you have got control. Try and let the students sit in the classroom where they have communication control. In other words, they're sitting where they're not sitting next to a person in avoidance relationship and so on. If you ask somebody, Johnny, to come down and sit down in the front of the class and he refuses, the chances are you are actually asking him to do something that will be very traumatic, extremely traumatic, if he is forced to sit beside somebody who's in avoidance relationship. I remember one young nurse asking me one day, saying, "Oh, I went to pick up this baby and say hello to this Yolngu baby, you know, to have a little cuddle of the baby and all that." And everybody said to me, no, you're in avoidance with that baby. She said, "Did it really matter that I continued to pick up the baby?" And I said, well, some things you just have to avoid. Like in mainstream society, as a young man, don't try and tell me that my mother had a sexual relationship. I don't want to know about it. I just don't want to know about it. There's a clear avoidance there. So every cultural group of people have clear avoidances. You need to learn what some of those avoidances are, and therefore, in that way, you won't be assaulting the people and assaulting the students in the classroom. The insults that happen in an Aboriginal classroom, if they happened in mainstream, teachers would be fired immediately. The trouble is, in an Aboriginal community, you can get away with it because mainstream's not setting the agenda. So learn some of those avoidances. Get the people to tell you where avoidances happen and how they happen. If you make a mistake around avoidance relationships or anything else, be prepared to say you're sorry, and you'll find that people will forgive you. Just say, "Sorry, I mucked it up, I didn't realise I was wrong there," and people will be really, really readily to accept your apology and move on.